Hey everyone, it's been a big year for us here at Bickering Nerds, and we wanted to take the time to thank everyone that was with us in 2025 and look back at all the games that made the year so great and the ones that disappointed us, and the ones we're looking forward to the most in 2026. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Right off the bat, Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. This is easily my favorite indie game that hit us in 2025. This one has the aesthetics of an old Game Boy Advance game that you would always play back in the day, and has that gameplay style of that top-down perspective from Legend of Zelda. It's by far one of my favorite games I played this year, and easily the top game I played from an indie studio. This one actually caught me completely by surprise. I had seen some screenshots and videos of it before, and I love the 8-bit pixel kind of like look that it has. But at the same time, what I got out of this one was far more than I expected to see, because this one has so much nuance to it when it comes to its gameplay style, the different badges and equipment that you can have, and the different tricks that you can learn on your yo-yo. There's something about growing up in the 90s and having that kind of like variation of seeing all the tricks that you knew growing up and seeing them actually pulled off in a game like this as battle mechanics. And while the game looks extremely simple from the get-go, it is very complex when you start getting into the different combos that you're pulling off, zipping through the different worlds and everything around it. This one absolutely caught me by surprise, and I loved every bit of this game. It's actually one that I reviewed here on the channel back earlier this year, and I actually visited it a couple more times even after that review was done. So anybody that's looking for a great indie experience, I highly suggest checking out Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo.
For my indie game of the year, I picked Revenge of the Savage Planet. And I know, it's a little bit different than the Silk Songs or even Brad's Pickrilio game. The reason I picked this one is I'm a huge fan of couch co-op, and I love the ability of playing games with my buddies. When I got to play this game, I had an absolute blast. It was very simple, the story is very simple, but the humor is great, the camaraderie is great. Overall, I highly recommend this game if you and your buddies just want to sit back, relax, and play a game together.
For my top game this year, easily that one's Donkey Kong Bonanza. This one actually came from the same studio that made Mario Odyssey back on the Nintendo Switch. And they took all of that experience and basically brought it to the forefront for this new game featuring Donkey Kong, where I gotta say, I love platformers, and this one even caught me by surprise on how fun it was, because everything is destructible in this game, and I love it for that. There's something about getting a game where it tells you, oh yeah, you can do whatever you want in it, and then you find these boundaries that you're still withheld into. Donkey Kong Bonanza doesn't have that. You see a wall, you punch through the wall. You want to get to banana, you can find a way to get to banana. And I absolutely love how this game just brings everything to the forefront for its creativity in bringing this entire world together. Every stage of this is unique, every character is unique, and the story itself is something that I absolutely had a blast with as well. Typically, when it comes to the Donkey Kong games, I don't remember the stories of those games, I'll be honest. Donkey Kong Country, I just remember the amazing platforming and level designs. But this one, the story is actually hilariously fun. The characters, I love them, and even the villains in this are a fun blast to go through. I highly recommend, if you have a Nintendo Switch 2 and you haven't picked this up yet, go grab it, like now. It should be in the collection of everybody that has a Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, wait, it's my turn again? Oh, okay. Well, for this one, I, once again, picked a game that wasn't considered the best of the best on everyone's chart. This one was great to me for a personal reason. I got to play this game with a good buddy of mine for a very long time. Unfortunately, we did not get to finish it just because of circumstances here and there. But overall, every second we played this, we had a blast. Split Fiction was a lot of fun. We got to take on different challenges, play different parts of the board, and overall, we both got to play a lot of the game. It wasn't like player one had more to do than player two, and the best part is we had to rely on each other to be able to beat the game. It wasn't like one of us could carry the other one through it. We both had to do a decent enough job for us to make it through. Overall, if you want a great game with a bunch of different game styles in it, and you want to play with a good buddy of yours, I highly recommend Split Fiction.
And even though there's some ups with the year, there has to be some downs. And by far, the biggest disappointment I had this year had to be Pokemon Legends ZA. This is actually one of the games that I was excited about when it was first announced, because first off, Mega Evolution is my favorite gimmick that we saw in the Pokemon series. I absolutely love the entire idea of Luminos City being brought back in a skiing to adventure and more Mega Evolutions, more of the Legends ZA, more of the gameplay style that we saw brought in Pokemon Legends Arceus, getting to actually push that gameplay style in a new direction. But what we got has got to be one of the most disappointing things I had seen in a long time. This is actually one of the games I had pre-ordered long before it was even coming out, and actually went back and canceled my pre-order on it as we got more information, because everything about this game just came down to a disappointment. Being limited down to just being in Luminos City and the just little bit of biomes that it has just comes off as so lazy. The game looks like it's something that should be on the Nintendo 64 for starters, and it doesn't bring us any closer to the open world Pokemon game that it presents itself to be. It just comes off as a mess that has a lot of great ideas, but zero execution on any of them. And by far, it has some great things I wanted to see in this, like the live Pokemon battles, the customization, the new Mega Evolutions, and I have heard the story is pretty good, but at the same time, it's hard to look past everything else that brings this game so far behind everything I expected it to be. So for that one, it's easily the most disappointing game to come from 2025, and I really hope that Game Freak gets its stuff together in order to give us something better in 2026 or beyond.
What was the most disappointing game to me in 2025? I'd have to say Outer Worlds 2. And I know, I'm probably going to get pitchforked or whatever. People are going to get mad at me. But realistically, what it comes down to is I'm a big fan of humor games, and I love Fallout. So when Outer Worlds 1 came out, I was ecstatic because it was funny. It kind of felt like what Fallout 3 should have turned into for Fallout 4. I remember people making that joke. This one felt dry. It felt kind of boring. I went through the whole game hoping that at some point it was just going to get stupid fun or a little bit crazy. I'm not looking for a Saints Row kind of insane, but just a little bit more, I don't know, silly. But overall, it was an okay shooter. It was an okay story. Nothing too insane, but to me, it just felt not like an Outer Worlds.
Now, this game didn't release this year, but this is by far the game that I've put the most time into this year. Crab Champions is a roguelike game where you play as a crab and you fight other crabs and snails and slugs and skulls, and it's, you know what? It's hard to explain, but just know it is insanely fun. It has that roguelike experience where you start with nothing and you slowly build up your artillery of different perks, weapon mods, and everything to take down everything around you. With a third-person perspective as a crab, you run around, jump, glide, and shoot everything in your path. And my God, this is probably one of the most fun games I've played in a long time. And I've been playing it since it first released back in 2023. And it still is getting amazing updates with the person behind it, Noise Storm, who you might know from the popular music video Crab Rave. And I cannot wait to see what this game has in store in the future, as it's still in early access and still getting updates every couple of months with new content, new guns, new perks, everything that makes this game so amazing. I legitimately have well over 250 hours in this game, and 50 of that has to be from this year alone.
What game did I play the most this year? It actually came out in 2023. It's a game called Bloodlines. I spent quite a bit of time this year in and out of hospital, and what I ended up using a lot was my Steam Deck and then later on my Legion Go S. And this game was the one that I always made sure that was installed on my system. It is absolutely amazing. It's a game that's in early access. It's kind of like a Skyrim-like game, but every single action that you perform raises a different skill. Like wall running is a skill. cooking, crafting, all these other things. Jumping is a skill, running is a skill, everything is a skill. So the more you do something, the faster your character gets, the better your character gets, the more endurance that your character gets. Overall, this game is absolutely amazing. It has older kind of style graphics to it. It kind of reminds me of like the old PS1 days. But overall, it is a blast. If you're a fan of Skyrim or anything adjacent to it, I highly recommend picking up The Bloodline.
Easily at the top of my list for 2026 is Scott Pilgrim EX. Or is it Scott Pilgrim X? I'll be honest, I don't know which one it is, but I know I want this game. It comes from Tribute Games, which is the studio that actually originally made the Scott Pilgrim game back on the PlayStation 3. And been waiting for a new Scott Pilgrim game. And this one coming in is another hack and slash kind of beat 'em up game with a side scroller perspective. It has that same kind of pixel art look that I love from the original game. And it looks like it's expanding in all the best ways. There's not a lot of detail on this one yet. As we're coming into 2026, it doesn't even really have a fully playable demo yet. But I know that it's going to be a blast to play based on the trailers that we've seen. It was just announced somewhat recently, so we're still on the early phases of the game's development from the sounds of it. It has all the right players behind it. Tribute Games, Brian Lee O'Malley, and Anna Monoguchi coming back to do the soundtrack. It's a match made in heaven that I never thought we would actually see coming back. And given the track record from the recent releases that we've seen from Tribute, with Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, I know they have everything they need to make this game as great as it can be. So I'm heavily looking forward to it, and the second I can, I'm putting my money down and picking this one up.
Originally, I was going to pick the Wolverine for my most anticipated for 2026, but then I realized I don't have a PS5. So, okay, I'll probably see it in 2027 when it gets released for PC. But that being said, my 2026 pick is going to be High on Life 2. I think I'm one of the rare people that actually really enjoyed the first one. I'm a huge Rick and Morty fan like everyone else, but I also got a kick out of what the guns were talking about. I know they got a little annoying at times and things like that, and there was ways later on to kind of quiet them up a little bit and have them so they're not chatting at you the whole time. But the story was pretty good. The humor was hilarious, especially if you're a Rick and Morty fan, and also if you have a brain of a 12-year-old like I do. Overall, it was very funny, and I can't wait to see the humor continue on High on Life 2.
And that wraps up 2025 from the Bickering Nerds. To everyone that watched our videos, subscribed, and commented, thank you so much for sticking with us. And we can't wait to see what the gaming landscape has in store for us in 2026. And we can't wait to share that experience with you all. But let us know in the comments what your favorite moments in gaming were in 2025, and what you're looking forward to the most in 2026. Until next time, this has been the Bickering Nerds.